Alright, today I'm going to be explaining unique variants, and here are a few questions that I'm going to be answering about them. The first is, what is a unique variant, or a UV? How do I get a unique variant on an item? What unique variant should I look for if I want to buy an item with a unique variant already on it? And what UV stacking is. So, first up, we have, what is a unique variant? And a unique variant is a bonus effect on a gear item. It can provide a certain defense against the status. It can provide attack speed increase or charge time reduction. Really a bunch of different things. And it will look like that little brown icon right there. And there can be up to 3 unique variants on one item. Usually there's only one though, because getting 3 is pretty rare, or you will have to pay a lot to get 3. And here's an example of a UV's effect. So I have 2 Asherons. Each of them has a UV, but only one of their UVs is helpful for these levels. The first one has a damage bonus versus slime very high, which is the helpful one. And the second Acheron has a damage bonus versus gremlin low. So this second one's UV is basically useless for these levels. And in short, we could say that it has no UV for these levels, which is why I'm going to be comparing it to the first one, so we can see the effect. Okay, here we are at the first level of the Jelly Palace, and first off I'm going to be using the Acheron with the damage bonus versus slime very high. And it's only taking 2 swipes to finish off these jellies, which is great, and we're dealing 155, 155. So I'm going to switch to the second one, and it's taking 3 swipes to finish off the jellies, and that extra swipe can sometimes just make all the difference when you're playing levels. And our damage for the second one is a 123, 123, 156. So the third strike of our second Acheron is about as good as the first 2 strikes of the first one. So there is quite a bit of a difference there. Now if you do want a UV, there are a couple different ways to get it. The first is we can run down here to punch the guy at the anvil, and we can select a unique variant ticket. We'll just select the first one, because if we selected 2 or 3 it would cost a whole bunch of crowns. Then we'll select the item that we want a unique variant on, and then we'll hit the transmute button, and this way we are certain to get a unique variant, but we don't know what it'll be. And I actually got a helpful one, so that was nice. The second way is to buy an item with a unique variant already on it from the auction house. So we'll just search Brandish here and see what our results are. Now if you see this icon right here on any item in the auction house, that means that that item has a unique variant. And those are the items that we're going to be looking for. Okay, so there's one with a kind of helpful UV. Just hit buy it now. Exit out of that, check my mail. Go up here and we see that that item has the UV. We'll accept it. And now we have an item with a unique variant on it. And the other way is we can just craft items like we normally would, and we might get one. And I've usually found that about 1 out of every 8 times that I craft an item normally, I usually get a unique variant. So it can be a little off and on. And when you do get one, you'll see the little sparkles and that little symbol. So what UV you should get. And choosing a UV can be kind of tricky, but it really depends on your play style and what levels you tend to play more often. So let's say that you're using a sword and you like to get up close and you're an aggressive player. That means you're going to want an attack speed increase so that you can deal more damage per second. If you like to keep your distance with swords, then you're going to want charge time reduction so that you can hang back, charge up your attack, and then just go in for quick spurts and let it go on your enemies. If you like to play lots of lockdown, you're probably going to want some shock resistance on your armor, because many of the players use shock-inducing weapons. And if you do lots of jelly runs, you're probably going to want piercing defense on your armor, because all of the jellies deal piercing damage. And now I'm going to explain UV stacking, and we have a handy dandy little chart here. And all the UVs, for their verbal names, they also have a numeric value, with low being 1 and maximum being 6. Now these can all add together, so say we have a high, which is a 3, and a medium, which is a 2. The 3 and the 2 can add together, and of course they'll equal 5, and the 5 is an ultra. And I'll explain more on that a little bit later. And why we have to worry about this chart is because our UVs and our armors and weapons natural attributes can combine. And here's an example just in case that got a little confusing. So here I have a Plague Needle, which has a UV for charge time reduction low, which is a 1, and it has a charge time reduction medium already on it because it's level 10, so that's a 2. And then in the same loadout I have a Perfect Mask of Cirrus, which gives guns a charge time reduction of medium, which is another 2. And so all of those add up to 5, and if we bring up our little chart here, we'll see that the 5 is actually an ultra. So that low and those 2 mediums added up to give me an ultra charge time reduction. And if you have any more questions about unique variants, just leave those in the comments and I'll answer them. And thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.